Greetings, it is I, Ryuji Dread. How are all of you doing, Dreadknights, on this Halloween? Happy Halloween. Yes, I know, it's not a Friday night. Why are we watching a movie watch-along today? Well, because it's Halloween, and I think it's only appropriate that we watch the 1978 classic Halloween, which started pretty much for all intents and purposes, truly, the slasher genre. Some people argue that Psycho from Alfred Hitchcock days, the old black and white one, was technically the first start of slasher films, but really Halloween is what got everything set in motion, because after Michael Myers, then there was Jason Voorhees, after Voorhees, there was Freddy, after Freddy, there was Chucky, after Chucky, there was Ghostface, and none of that would have been possible without good old Mikey Myers himself, at least in my personal opinion. So we will be watching the 1978 classic Halloween, the original one. It's an hour and 30-minute movie. As with all movie watch-alongs, I cannot stream the movie. I can only stream my reactions to the movie, so you will have to have it queued up on your end. Now, fortunately, there are a lot of places that you can watch it. Actually, at the time of this airing, actually, AMC should be showing on regular television with commercials Halloween. However, I will not be watching a version with commercials. I will be watching a version without commercials. But there's a lot of places you can watch this movie for free, as well as with subscriptions. So it's available on Xumo Play, Plex, Crackle, all for free. And then ones with subscription, AMC Plus subscription, Fubo TV with subscription, Philo, which I've never heard of, with subscription, Sling TV with premium subscription, YouTube with primetime subscription, the Roku channel with primetime subscription, YouTube TV with premium subscription, Amazon Prime Video, which is probably your best bet, with premium subscription. It's also available to rent on Google Play, Fandango, or Apple TV, but I would recommend most likely going either with one of the free options or going with one of the ones that you probably have a subscription to. Most people have an Amazon Prime subscription, so that shouldn't be a problem. Or they have, like, a YouTube, or they have a AMC one. Mostly, though, I think a lot of people have Amazon Prime. With that being said, let's get into the movie, because it is an hour and 30 minutes. I don't want to drag our feet any further. So I'm going to count down to 10. We're going to play the movie right from the very beginning. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play. Alright, we're treated to the old school Halloween music. A Compass International Pictures release, which was the original pictures that distributed it. Mustafa Akkad presents, who was one of the big producers of this film. Halloween. Here we go, the classic music played on the piano. Donald Pleasence, who really makes all the Halloween movies, in my personal opinion. Some people argue Jamie Lee Curtis, but I think his performance is phenomenal. John Carpenter's Halloween. The other cool thing about this title sequence is just the fact that, if I remember, this is the one where it takes you... No, this isn't the one that takes you into the pumpkin. That's Halloween 2. A Deborah Hill production. Introducing Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie. This was one of her first big breaks as an actress, so this is the one that got her all started. Nancy Loomis as Annie. Notice how that's a reference to Dr. Loomis. And PJ Souls as Linda? Yeah. Okay, Charles Cyphers, who I don't know who he exactly plays. Featuring Kylie Richards, Brian Andrews. Kylie Richards actually reprised her role in Halloween Kills. Screenplay by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. This song is so classic. It actually was made by John Carpenter himself. Director of photography, Dean Kunde. Film editors, Tom Wallace, Charles Bernstein. It's like such a menacing theme, too. Like, it's so iconic. Music by John Carpenter. And it really sets the tension that this is going to be a film where it's very dramatic and intense. Associate producer, Cool Lesby. Production manager, Don Burns. Production designer, Tommy Wallace. And you'll notice that there's a character in this movie called Tommy. Executive producer, Irwin Yablans. Produced by Deborah Hill. Even though we already knew that, but they had to put her name in this apparently twice. Directed by John Carpenter. One of his very first movies, if I'm not mistaken. Haddonfield, Illinois. So we got a little bit of a poem there from the very beginning. Halloween night, 1963. So it looks like it's a regular Halloween night. Maybe people are going to be going trick-or-treating of some sort. Okay, so we're treated to this house. This is going to be the iconic Michael Myers house. Notice that off the bat, very dramatic camera shot where we have the camera just walking up towards the house as if there's somebody, maybe it's Michael himself or somebody else that's just walking towards the porch maybe to get candy. And here you see the silhouette of the people. That's a nice little nuance there. See that the camera's slowly shifting around. We heard that the parents aren't going to be home till 10. So it looks like we have some people that are kind of getting a little horny, a little frisky there, I suppose. Michael's around someplace. Where's Michael? So I think it's safe to assume, just based on that Michael's around someplace, that we are watching right now through the eyes of Michael Myers himself as a kid. So that's a nice little effect there, just to kind of like show, don't necessarily tell what we're actually looking at. So this is Michael, just following, shifting around, sneaking about for the house. He looks up at the, obviously, we get the first sign of something bad is about to happen because of the da-da-dum. So there's tension building, right? And we get again the first person view. It's a nice director's choice to have the camera just shifting around at a very low angle, which implies that this is actually from a childlike viewpoint here. This is not like from an adult, because as you see, it's very low, the camera here position. It's not very high up. If this was an adult's POV, it would be way, way higher. Okay, so you turned on the lights. Notice the music is getting kind of quizzical, a little mystical, a little eerie. Oh, he picked up a knife. Uh-oh. This can't be good. Notice how now all of a sudden the musical tone is shifting. It's becoming a bit more sinister. Notice as he's taking steps, you're hearing in the background of the piano, like bum, 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 bum. This is all to just set a truly unsettling feeling. Tension even, perhaps. This is not very good, right? Something bad is about to happen, perhaps. I love the fact that this is just one continuous shot. There's no cutaway right now. It's just him shifting to look. There's the boyfriend leaving. Wow, this was a quickie, apparently, because the boyfriend and her were done pretty quickly. I guess he's a 1 minute man, Dreadknights, I suppose. Alright. Well, he's gone, so I guess he gets spared, it seems. Uh-oh. Notice the music? That long tone there? It's getting more eerie, more sinister. He's slowly crawling up the stairs. Again, very low camera angles to imply that this is Michael Myers himself's point of view. Notice the lighting there that's showing like the moonlight. That's kind of a nice, cool effect there, done with DMI that's shooting out through the side there. Look at that. There's some type of mask, it seems, of some sort. Okay, so it looks like Michael had a clown outfit. And there's clothes on the floor, which obviously implies that she's probably still in bed. Very, oh no, she's not in bed. Okay. So the camera's slowly panning. We're seeing now through Michael's view. Oh man, Michael, why are you perving on your sister like that? That's a little creepy. What's he doing? He's looking for something. Oh no. So we're seeing through his eyes the mask there. It's another good camera effect there. Oh, he just stabbed her a whole bunch of times. Why is he killing her? What did she do? Why did he just snap all of a sudden? Holy crap, he just went berserk. He killed his own sister, man. It's crazy. And here we go. It's an interesting shot again of the mask being on the camera, and we're just running with the camera and this mask there. It's a really cool special effect. Very ballsy for its time, because most people wouldn't have tried a shot like this, and they would have just stayed with the mask being put on. But he really wanted to get the POV that this is Michael. That was a really good choice by John Carpenter. Here's the music. So something bad has happened, eerie and implying. And there's the parents. The mask gets pulled off, and we just have Michael staring blankly with the knife in his hand. And the camera pulls away to give us a wide shot. And the parents have no idea what to think right now, right? Oh, man. What a way to open a film, right? Like, dramatic tension just from the very beginning of the film. You know, that was very crazy. Unheard of back then. And pulls the wide shot, and he's still just frozen in place, and the parents don't even know what to do. They're like in shock. Smith's Grove, Illinois. What year is this, though? Doesn't say. That's the one thing that I was kind of curious why I didn't give away the year there. Oh, there it is. October 30th, 1978. The same year that this movie was made. So they wanted to make sure that this movie was set in current standard times by then, when the movie was released. Okay, so it's very rainy. You know, bad things happen on rainy, stormy nights, so that's a very interesting director's choice. We have a car that's driving through, a flash on the screen to kind of simulate that there's lightning. Very basic effect there. We get treated to Donald Pleasant's character for the first time here. It's interesting camera shots now. We got the very standard 2 shots, even though it's hard to split focus when you have people talking in a car like that. It's very hard to get the camera shot. Minimal security. Notice the car is actually probably not driving in those shots, and it's just them shooting on a lot, or with the car stationary, because there's not enough space, obviously, in the car to have the camera guy. So these are very static shots, and because it's very darkly lit and it's raining, you can't actually see that they're not driving anywhere. So we're getting some foreshadowing to Michael here. This must be his doctor. Notice what he's dealing with. Don't underestimate him. It is him. If you say so. So this doctor doesn't even treat his patient like human. What's so bad? Now, just based on what the doctor has said, Dr. Loomis, we kind of know that apparently Michael doesn't have any humanity whatsoever if he's referring to him as a beast. Where is he and what's that? That's the point, apparently. He doesn't want Michael out, apparently. She's smoking cigarettes. He's looking on. He seems very upset, this doctor. What is he serious about? What is he so serious about? So the doctor doesn't want him to get out. Why? Is he that dangerous of a individual at this point? It's the law, so they have to take him for evaluation. So they're taking him for evaluation before Halloween. Interesting. Uh-oh. Notice the music is playing again? Noticing that something's off, something eerie is happening. They have inmates that are just running around the lawn there. Oh, man. So they're going to drive up to the gate. I wonder what's going to happen. Well, more of that sinister music. That something sinister has perhaps happened here already. You can tell Dr. Loomis seems very unsettled right now. He's giving even instructions for her to stop. He seems like something's off. What's wrong with the doctor? Does he know something that we don't know as a viewer yet? Interesting shot there, just of an POV of the nurse looking. Then we get to the 2 shot. Oh! Somebody just ran up the roof there. That's crazy. Somebody just scaled the roof of the car. The nurse is definitely kind of scared by now. Oh, man! They grabbed the nurse's face almost. Oh, man, she's driving the car. Oh, man. He's gonna rip her out of the car if she's not careful. Oh, there's a big struggle ensuing, man. And the music's picking up, too, so you know something bad is happening. Oh, he just literally was almost gonna drag her out of the car. It's smart of her to move to the other side. Ooh, look at that. Uh-oh, close up. Look at the hand. Oh, just broke the mirror like that. Or the windshield. Oh, look at that. That inmate is just getting inside the car there. He's gonna escape. Who's that? Who do you think escaped from the asylum? Oh, he has to check on her. He's gone. What do you mean he's gone? The evil's gone. So is that implying that's Michael? Michael Myers just escaped from Pinewood? Well, we don't know that for certain. We're gonna have to check with the doctor here, right? He's gonna have to check. That could have been any inmate, for all we know. What a dramatic scene that was. And now we just cut to daytime in Haddonfield. I guess it's the next night over, perhaps? It's Halloween. Ooh. So we're on Halloween morning. Notice the music, very whimsical. This seems like a very small, peaceful town. That's what the wide shot is implying to us as the viewer. Notice the music, very mystical. You see how the camera is slowly moving in? As if perhaps maybe our villain is already in this town, kind of staking out the location where perhaps his victims are. Alright, we're treated to Jamie Lee Curtis as the title character of this film, Laurie Strode. She's a schoolgirl, you can tell, because she's got the school books and she's got an old school bag. Strode reality. We dropped the key at the Myers place. Somebody's actually gonna take a look at that house. How many years have passed? This was The event of when Michael stabbed was like, what, 1962? This is 1978? So, wow, a lot of years have passed then, since that Michael would be an adult already at this point. Well, there's the music again, picking up. Mystical. Eerie, like if this is the calm before the storm, perhaps. And Laurie, you can see carefree, kind of very nerdy type of character, very reserved, you see? She's not showing any legs, she has a very long skirt. She's very studious because, look, she has all her books in back. Now we have Tommy. Tommy's walking up there. Fun fact, this Tommy was actually the one that would inspire Tommy Jarvis's character in Friday the 13th Part 4, years and years later. Okay. So, she's gonna babysit Tommy later on. She's dropping a key. It's gonna sound hard. Why does he keep asking why? I mean, I guess because he's a kid. So he likes to ask a whole bunch of questions just on the Myers house. Look how run down the Myers house is. That's not good. What's wrong with Tommy? Why is he so scared all of a sudden? Two shot. Wide shot. Why aren't you supposed to go in there? Oh, looks scared. Spook house. So is this like... this house is infamous at this point because of what happened here years ago? He looks so scared. Notice we're hearing breathing. Oh my goodness, there's somebody in the house. Isn't supposed to be abandoned? That was a nice director choice to have somebody just move into the shot there, implying that it's the killer. Lonnie. Where's it going? Oh, he's going to school. I guess they don't go to the same school. Well, she would be in high school, right? He would be in elementary school. I wish I had you all alone. And Michael walks into the shot there, an over-the-shoulder shot. That's so crazy. That's so freaking cool. It's like she's singing right now Michael Myers' actual thoughts. That's so insane, right? So Michael's just there, breathing heavily, stalking. Notice how long they held that shot, too, and she didn't even notice because she's involved in her one. I'm not responsible. Oh, no. So that confirms, by their conversation, that Michael Myers escaped from Pinewood. Nobody listened to him. Oh, man. Look at Dr. Loomis is furious. Where's he going? He knows where he's going, right? 150 miles. He was doing pretty well last night. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Dr. Loomis. That's what I'm saying. How he knew how to drive a car. I guess maybe an inmate taught him. Oh, man. So I guess Dr. Loomis is going to go give chase, try to find his escape patient. And this guy just there. Alright, so we cut to the classroom scene. Fun fact, this classroom scene is also mimicked in Nightmare on Elm Street years later. It's intentional design, I think, because everything that comes after Halloween kind of throws throwbacks to Halloween, because Halloween was truly one of the very first slasher films. Listen to the poem and the teachings that the teacher's trying to teach right now. The day of reckoning, their own fate. She's spacing out because she feels like something's unsettling. There goes the song again. Like something eerie, unsettling is happening. She seems a little bit spooked out, even. It's like she's starting to notice something. Oh, look at that! We have that guy standing out there in the mask, just staring at her. That relatively spooked her. And yet, somehow, she's still able to answer the question in class. That's how you know that's a very smart bookworm. Look at that. She gave the right answer. You notice that we never saw the teacher, so it's safe to assume that that was actually just somebody who did a voiceover for that particular scene. So that way they don't have to cut to the teacher a whole bunch of times in this scene. Okay. Look at that. So we are treated to... it looks like elementary school at this point. So I guess we're going to cut back to the perspective of Tommy's character, Tommy Doyle. He's got a pumpkin, a really large pumpkin in his hand. What's going on? Are they teasing him? I guess because he's the smallest kid. You know, kids can be such a jerk sometimes. They always tease the smallest kid in class. Man, that's so bad. Man, they're messing around with him about the boogery man. Oh, we gotta leave him alone. What happens to Halloween? Well, I mean, I haven't gotten candy in a while. Oh, look, they're tormenting the poor kid, man. Leave him alone. Damn, but oh, they tripped him. They broke his pumpkin. What freaking jerks those kids are. Kids can be so mean. Oh, look at that. It's Killer again. Michael, he's just everywhere. Now he's camping out Tommy Doyle's character. Oh, excuse me. Look at the music. It's the stalking music right now. Dun, 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 dun. I can't sing too much because I'll get DMCA'd here. I love the shot just of him following Tommy slowly, and then all of a sudden he just starts walking quicker because he doesn't want to be noticed that he's following him. Well, look at that. He gets back into the car. He definitely knows how to drive, that's for certain. The music's picking up again. The intensity. Now he's following him in the car. This is an interesting shot, too, because we get the perspective of Michael following him, but we're getting it. The weird choice here was, why wasn't that by the passenger seat, that camera angle? And as opposed to, like, if we're inside the car with Michael Myers driving. That's the one thing I really don't understand about that choice. I guess because they want to go to the over-shoulder thing. So it's like if we hopped in a ride with Michael Myers, I guess this was trying to convey there. A very interesting shot, but I wouldn't have done it personally that way. I would have had it, the camera from the passenger side seat. But it's like we're taking a ride with Michael Myers in the car right now to see what he's stalking, how he's stalking. We're going along with the ride for him, right? Very interesting choice as a director there. Ballsy, not the best way to do it, but, you know, then again, John Carpenter back then, this was like one of his very first movies. Another really good movie of John Carpenter's is The Thing. I'd love to watch it, but we're not going to be able to watch it for Halloween, obviously, because today is Halloween. Also, Loomis is calling on a payphone. They don't even have those in this day and age. If they were to remake this movie, Loomis would be on his fucking cell phone right now, guys. Almost 100%. If you don't, it's your funeral. That's crazy. Right. Dr. Loomis. I mean, the stress of Michael must have made him bold, right? Oh, he found a car. Wait, so he stole a different car, apparently, Dreadknights. Because look, that's a regular car of some sort. Or no, it's the same car, but what did he do? What did he attack? Well, he attacked a garage attendant for the clothes. So we know that we're not dealing with just a deranged killer, but actually a killer who's pretty smart. Because he knew enough to get rid of his, you know, institution gowns, right? His hospital gowns. Rabbit in the Red. That is definitely the cigarette stuff from the nurse, remember? The matches. Oh, look at this. The dude's just killed. That's a crazy nice little shot where we just pan to see where Michael dumped the guy. Oh, no. It's a poem. No, it's not a poem. It's a cheer. We're hearing the cheers. I don't remember this in a previous version. There's multiple versions of this movie that are shown. On the television, they actually add extra scenes just to make the runtime a little bit longer. Because we're not watching the television edit, though. We are watching the old-school Blu-ray version of it, where it doesn't have those scenes in it. Okay, so Laurie's one of her best friends. This is Linda, if I'm not mistaken? I think. I could be wrong on that. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. She doesn't have anybody to do. She doesn't have a date. She's a very studious nerd. Okay, it is Linda's character. I thought so. Oh. Fun fact! This character in the background is John Carpenter's, if I remember, daughter? They're related to John Carpenter, if I remember correctly. Paul tracked them to the boys' locker room. They were doing some naughty things. Oh, just to talk. Okay. Got caught for eggs. Uh-oh. Well, of course he's gonna get grounded for that. Also, I guess her sexy plans are over. Uh-oh. What happened? Yeah, everybody has a place for that. She forgot chemistry book. Is she gonna go back to get it? Uh-oh, there's the car. Now he's just driving, stalking them. It's like he's staking out his territory. Doing some reconnaissance, perhaps. Devon Graham, well, look at the car logo, lady. It's definitely not. Uh-oh. How's she think she's cute? Who's that dude? Uh-oh. Sure. Why are you sassing this person? Uh-oh. He stopped. He's not happy with her and what she said. Notice the music is escalating again. Tension is rising. Is he going to get out of the car and do something? And of course he's not going to be able to take a joke. That was pretty rude, don't you think? I'm not justifying him, but you definitely use that as a scare tactic for them. Yeah, Annie One day you're gonna get us into deep trouble. Isn't that foreshadowing? Perhaps? Hmm. Oh, now they're mocking each other. This conversation's not exactly the most dynamic, but it's giving some foreshadow. So Wallace's live at 7. Babysitting the doors. Oh, so they're all hanging out near the same houses. Interesting. Oh, man. So why are they friends if she's, like, teasing Laurie and saying, oh, man, you're boring? It's not a very good friend, right? There's the music again, mystical. Like something unsettling is about to happen again. More foreshadowing, more eeriness, more tension building. Interesting. Okay, so we gotta cut to a wide shot of them just walking. Again, just kind of giving you a glimpse of how isolated this town is. That when it gets dark, there's not going to be many places for them to really necessarily go. It's a nice, small, quiet town, but look, there's not like... It's not like a major metropolitan where there's like police everywhere, right? No, this is a small suburb. Okay, so that must be her house. Uh-oh. So where are these two gonna go now? Oh, look at that! It's the guy in the mask again! He's just staring. Remember, he was staring at her in school, too. Oh, man, he just peeked. Pat went through the bush. Oh, man. Was that behind her imagination, or that actually happened? Yeah, the one you yelled at. Interesting. Subtle. Wow. We can tell already that Annie is not afraid of anything. She's one of those go-getter characters. Oh, no. He's not there. Where'd he go? How did he shift into the bushes so quickly, right? He pulled a Homer Simpson, perhaps. She's gonna tease her. She's walking slowly. Now she's picking up the pace a little bit more. Why tease somebody who's, like, wants a date and to be loved? That's not funny. You don't do that. Nobody there. Why did she say that? Scared her and went away. Wow, she's just... Small fortune, babysitting. Guys think you're too smart. Why are you saying wacko? Why is she being so mean to her? That's her friend. I mean, I understand trying to get your friend out of their, like, shell, but there's a way to do it where you're not, like, a total bitch, right? Right, Dreadknights? Am I right? What's going on? She's looking around. She's definitely creeped out at this point. This dude is stalking. Oh! She bumped into somebody. Who's this? Mr. Brackett. Who's Mr. Brackett? Oh, he looks like he's a police. He's got, like, a police outfit. That's a nice line. Oh, it's Halloween. I guess everybody's inside so one gets scared. Yeah, he is the police. Look, the sheriff. It says on the badge. On the side there. He's got a pipe. Is he going into the same house as Annie? I guess that implies that that's... Yep, it's Annie's dad, then. Interesting how they show us and they don't tell us. Interesting. We also know now Annie's last name is Brackett. Oh, so they literally live next door to each other. They must have been friends for their whole entire life. What's that sound? Did you hear that? I heard like a sound of something, some struggling of some sort. Oh, it's kids, I guess, laughing? Yeah, it's kids laughing. Oh, because they're going trick-or-treat early. And that's always smart, because that way you can get back before things get crazy. Like, around here, Halloween, here in New York City, when it gets, like, super, super dark, shit gets rough here. People act the fool up, so you really don't want to be out super late on Halloween. I've done it a couple times. I've gone to, like, the East, the West Village Parade for Halloween. It's pretty fun, but, like, over the years, things in this city have gotten a little bit more crazy. So I tend to stay home for Halloween. Case in point where I'm here tonight watching this movie with you as opposed to, like, being outside partying. Oh, man, look at that. That's the guy again stalking her. Why didn't she call the cops? Oh, she disappeared so quickly. How's that possible? She's dropping. She doesn't know if this is actually happening or this is all in her mind. But, you know, what I never understood about Laurie at this point is why not, like, pick up the phone and, like, call the cops and say, I think somebody's, like, been camping out and stalking me, right? Like, maybe they might not take her seriously because it's a Halloween day, but it's always worth a shot, right? Nobody's answering the phone. Do you think that person's calling to see if anybody's there besides her? The phone's ringing. Was she having tricks played on her, and potentially? Oh, she was messing around with her. Yep. Why would you do that? She had a mouthful. Nobody heard that. Uh-oh. Obscene chewing. Yeah, sure, I lost it. So she's gonna pick her up in the cart. Interesting. Notice Laurie is completely creeped out at this point. She's been stalked by this guy in this mask that maybe exists or maybe doesn't. We don't even know as the viewer at this point, right? We kind of think we know. Laurie's just there on the bed. She's trying to get herself her bearings. She's trying to psych herself back up that this is just her mind playing tricks on her. Alright, so we got Laurie. She changed her outfit. Now she's got a pumpkin in her hand. She's walking towards what? I guess towards her friend who's has the car that they're letting her use. But she got a big pumpkin. Interesting. What's going to happen? I guess she's going to carve a pumpkin with Tommy Doyle. Alright. Again, notice the unsettling nature because Laurie herself really doesn't know what's going on. She's kind of still creeped out. Notice how she's looking left to right from time to time to try to figure out if something's going on. Oh, she's smiling. Again, because they're going trick-or-treating. I guess Laurie is like a goody two-shoes, so I guess in a way she's kind of envious of them that they're going out for a Halloween night. Instead, she's just going to play it safe and babysit some people. Just notice. But she was definitely spooked there. Notice how she's looking back and forth, shifting around. She's definitely wondering about that guy in the mask still. That's why the music is kind of picking up again. That unsettling nature. She's wearing bell-bottoms. They're pretty tight bell-bottoms now that I think about it. We can see Jamie Lee Curtis's keister there. Wow. Listen to that music. That music's like super old. That wasn't even from that time period. That's like a 50s song, if I'm not mistaken. Why was she playing music from a 50s station? Oh, she's smoking some reefer. There's a reefer madness going on. Okay, cutaway. This is Dr. Loomis? What is Dr. Loomis looking for? Looks like they're at a cemetery. Judith Myers, Michael Myers' sister, I guess. Row 18, block 20. Why is Dr. Loomis here? What is he hoping to achieve? One night, they're telling a story of something else? Then what's he doing? And he's telling a folklore story? A hacksaw. And then what did he do? And what did he do? Oh, wow. They cut off the story. That might have been like a sequel that we'll never get to hear. Judith Myers. Yeah. Yeah, why would a young boy do that? What's wrong? Why do they do what? Where's the tombstone? It's gone. Whose grave was it? That's Judith Myers' grave, isn't it? Yeah, so they stole the tombstone. He came home. See, Dr. Loomis knows that he's here in Haddonfield. So he's right. That confirms his suspicions. They're smoking pot. She wasn't spooked. Well, I guess that's gonna get Laurie to chill out a bit, I suppose. Oh, look at that. Isn't that the sheriff? Oh, notice the music that's playing in the radio? That music plays at the very end of Halloween Ends. So that's like a little Easter egg in Halloween Ends that ties back to the original first movie. So it's funny. So, again, her friend is kind of telling Laurie to get out of her shell. Ooh. Why is she smoking pot if she doesn't like it, right? She just wants to try to be cool? Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh, Dad! Uh-oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. What's going on? And there's a smell too, right? From that, so... Uh-oh. Stop coughing. Oh, look. There's a police store there. Or not police store, police Right there. Oh, notice that. Who's it? Notice that before this shot, there was a car driving in the background. It's safe to assume that was Michael Myers' car. No. Kids. Somebody broke into the hardware store. What'd they take? Halloween mask, rope, and knives. Uh-oh. A little bit of foreshadowing. Perhaps Michael Myers stole some of that stuff? Aren't you gonna be late? Shuts too. Well, the sheriff has a problem on his hand. He thinks it's just kids messing around for Halloween. So they're driving away. And notice, look who's walking to this shot. Dr. Loomis here. Interesting. Dr. Loomis. He wants to talk to the sheriff. It's very important. Okay. He's gonna just wait there. He's got to tell the sheriff that there's potentially somebody who broke out of an institution on the loose. Look at the shot over there, the car driving away. That's Michael. He just was staking out the place, noticed Dr. Loomis was there, and literally just drove away. So now he knows that his doctor is even in town, looking for him. The look on his face. Well, was it going to probably bust his daughter and his daughter's best friend, I suppose. Right? The dance. She was thinking about the dance. I mean, she's a regular girl, right? Like anybody else, a regular woman. And she's sad. Because she don't have a date, I guess. She could. You want to go to the dance? So Laurie's reserved and shy. Nick Bastard, who's that? Ben Tramer, shit, that's her crush? Interesting. And knew what? Ah, see, now she's gonna tease her at the fact that she likes a guy. What about it? And she's trying to silence her. This part of noise in the background. Do live in a noisy city. From time to time, you will hear emergency services. They probably know there's a killer on the loose in this movie. Look at that. The car's still following them. Michael's just been stalking them out this whole entire time throughout this movie. The music is escalating to let us know that the tension is heightening. Notice also the sun is starting to set, which means it's nighttime. Notice how dark this place is at night, Haddonfield. Almost like easy pickings for a killer, right? Oh, look at that. He's just gonna park the car there and stake out a little bit more. So he knows that Laurie is going to this house to babysit. This time around, it's interesting how we're sitting in the passenger side of the car. So it's like if we're on a joyride with Michael, and then it's slowly going to shift back to the wheel. So it's like if now we're looking through the perspective of Michael and Michael's driver's seat view now. Very interesting shot, because usually you either keep the camera on one side or not. But you have Michael just, like, shifting around his viewpoint. So, when he got out of the car, he's got some pretty good shoes, I gotta admit. He stole from a very rich garage dude, I suppose. Okay. So we finally get our first kind of real look at the mask that Michael Myers is wearing, at least from the side profile. So he's stalking out Annie's character for some reason. Why particularly Annie is he after? First, I wonder. Maybe he knows that that's the sheriff's daughter, and he just wants to single out that target first? Or maybe it's just a little bit more reconnaissance. Notice Michael's just hiding behind the tree there. The one thing that always bothers me is how is nobody noticing this creepy dude just, like, stalking out a tree? Like, from her perspective, if anybody was looking straight, they'd be like, this dude in a white mask is staring from the tree. But no, everybody's so involved because of Halloween. They're not paying attention to their surroundings, perhaps. Alright? So there we see the car drive in and it says sheriff. So again, showing us that the sheriff is driving to the Michael Myers house or the Myers house and not telling us that they're driving to the house. So they haven't been able to rent this house. Every kid thinks this place is haunted. They may be right. Interesting line. I think this is some of the best dialogue in the original Halloween film. Like when you just listen to their dialogue as they go up the stairs. And just some of the convincing. Look at this place, it's so run down. How are you going to be able to rent this to anybody? Like, who's going to buy a house that's run down outside of, like, nowadays, people probably a house flipper. Oh, a whole bunch of people were killed in this house. Oh, it's a little, oh, we put a couple coating of paint and a little bit of woodwork. It'll be just fine. Who cares that, you know, gruesome murders happen here? I really really is probably how it is in house flipping, I'll be honest with you, Dreadknights. Just saying. It's still warm. There's food there. Uh-oh. Interesting. It's not a skunk. A man would do that if he's got nothing else to eat, probably would. Notice what he said, this isn't a man. He's still treating Michael Myers like it's a beast. That this is no human that we're dealing with in the film. Giving us this very eerie, sinister feeling. Notice there, it's an interesting shot where they have them walking up the stairs and we just have the camera get. I like the fact that they hold the shot with them walking. Okay, the blue lighting here to simulate the moonlight is actually DMIs. They're being shot through the window to make it look like the moonlight is actually happening. Notice how this is one continuous shot that we're following them through the rooms. There's no long cutaway, like fast cutaways. Look at that, it happened here. He's recounting the events. Notice again, it's still the same shot. There's no cutaways yet. It's still the same shot of them. You could have seen her through this window. Would have had some pretty good view. Staying alone. Oh, look at that. Somebody threw like a ball or something through the window. What is that? It's a panel that broke? What is that? He's pulled out the gun and the cop is like, what the hell's going on? He has a permit, I hope, for that, right? Well, he does have a permit for it. He's playing scared, but for good reason, perhaps. Even the sheriff knows something's wrong. He's telling us to start 15 years ago. That there was nothing left, no reasoning. No conscious, no understanding. So it's catatonic. Interesting. Good or evil, right or wrong. He doesn't say anything? 6-year-old. So 15 years ago, he was 6. So he's 21, Michael Myers. Interesting. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes. Look at the words. Donald Pleasence is such a freaking great actor. May he rest in peace. He really makes these movies. Listen to that line. What was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply just evil. He's been here once tonight. He thinks he'll come back. He's gonna wait for him? So what's the cop supposed to do? True. They'll probably see him. They're going to just stake out in case. Keep the men their mouth shut and their eyes open. I don't know. How is it that the doctor is able to call the shots here? Because if the sheriff should be the one in charge, like, nope. We're going to have gates and everything around to definitely ensure that this crazy killer is not going to be, you know, doing anything. I don't know if this was necessarily the right approach for handling Michael Myers, maybe, in this movie. Look at his costume. He's wearing a Luke Skywalker costume, because remember, this movie was 1978 when it came out. Star Wars would have been incredibly popular at this point. What is he pulling out? Comic books. Well, there's probably good reason for that, right? Laser Man? Nutrient Man? Where's Proton Man? Tarantula Man? Where's Proton Man? What's the Boogie Man? Remember the kids were tormenting him in school? Uh-oh, the phone's ringing. Who's it now? Oh, it's Annie. What's Annie want? She's making popcorn. Having fun. Why is she? She's very cynical at this point. What does she have big news about? Well, there's a dog there. It's a pretty angry dog. Who's that? Lester. Lester seems like he's barking at something that's not her, though. Looks like he was barking towards the window. Maybe she should pay attention to the dog. Oh, look, a little foreshadowing. Now we see Michael just there, camping out by the bushes. Very nice shot there over the shoulder. Lindsay looking at the television screen. What's she watching, I wonder? Again, Michael just there, stalking a little bit. The dog barking causes Michael to move away. Are you sure that she should have listened to the dog? What is the big news? That's a good point. Homecoming dance with what? With who? Probably the wrong number. What'd she do? Ben Tramer. I was really excited. Oh, so she put in a good word for Ben Tramer. Yep. So now Annie has, not Annie, Lori has a date. You're not going to call him and turn it on? What's he looking at? He sees something in through the window. What is he looking at? Oh, look at that. He sees the guy stalking from the far away. Again, Michael Myers. Uh-oh. And remember, Tommy's, like, afraid of the boogeyman at this point, right? So, he's gonna be hiding. Uh-oh. She's so embarrassed. She can't even pay attention to Tommy at this point. The boogeyman's out there. What is he talking about? Nothing's there now. So now she's not gonna believe him. She's gonna think that he's just, like, playing tricks. Or that he's just a spooked little kid. Go watch TV. Hmm. And now Laurie's panicking because she doesn't know what to do in regards to Ben Tramer, right? Oh, yeah. She's trying to talk Annie out. Hmm. Hmm. Notice what she said? He likes you, he likes you, you like him. All you need is a little push. That's a very interesting incentive. Oh, she spilled butter on her thing. A little bit of fan service there. Lindsay is just like a TV junkie at this point. Oh, man, she stripped down all the way. All she did was spill some butter. Why did she have to strip that far down? Super fan service at this point. Hmm. And Michael's just there perving on her in a way. You think he's getting oh, the plant gave him away. Is she going to be creeped out, or is she just going to think that the plant just randomly fell? Now she's more involved with the whole thing of her outfit being messed up. Oh, man. She's going to wash the clothes there? Who randomly, like, gets butter as a babysitter on their, like, shirt and stuff? And then just says, I'm going to strip down and do the laundry. Hmm. Yeah, well. Where are you going to... Oh, Lester. We know what happened to Lester. The little whelps. That must mean, Mikey took care of him. Yep. Poor doggo, man. That is definitely not Bow Bow. Poor Bow Bow. Poor Bow Bow, indeed. GG. And RKO Radio Pictures. Now, keep in mind, this is actually foreshadowing for a movie that John Carpenter would do later on in his career, if I remember correctly, because I think this is the one where it's going to say a thing from another world, if I'm not mistaken. Which is actually the original... Yep, The Thing. So, John Carpenter, the ballsy director that he was, didn't even know if he was going to get to make this film. Actually hinted that he was going to remake The Thing in 1978's Halloween. Because he actually shows The Thing on the television, the old black and white one. Isn't that crazy? Like, talk about some balls thinking that you were going to get more work. That's a true G. After the jack-o'-lantern. What about the boogeyman? Look at Laurie. Laurie's afraid, but she's not afraid of the guy camping outside. She's afraid at the fact that now Ben Tramer knows that she likes him. Uh-oh. Halloween night. Listen what she's saying when people play tricks on each other. Poor Tommy at this point, he's trying to really convince Laurie. Yeah. She's not going to believe him at this point. Just going to think it's a little bit of a child's imagination, perhaps, at this point. Okay. Notice how they intentionally made Laurie dress like a nerd here. Look at her hairstyle. Look at, like, the way she's dressed. Also, it looks like Laurie has braces, but you can't really tell from that shot. Kind of like the way she's talking, maybe. Like somebody who would talk with braces in their mouth, right? I wonder if that was intentional by design there. Okay, meanwhile, we got Annie just walking around with a dress shirt on. I mean, she was fan service. And the crazy part is she's related to John Carpenter. So, it's a little creepy in a way that John Carpenter's like, yeah, I'm gonna have, I think it was his daughter, if I'm not mistaken, just walk around and be fan service for my movie. Seems like an odd choice, right? I think it was his daughter, something like that. I know it wasn't his wife. Or was it? I have to look up that after we get done with this movie. Uh-oh. Look at Michael. Michael's just there camping out. Look at Tide box. That's what Tide looked like in the 1978. So that means that even in the, like, late 80s, early 90s, that box of Tide had never changed. That's crazy. They had to pay, actually, to use the Tide logo there. So that would have cost a film director and a film company quite a lot of money just to have the box of Tide and use it in the film, because you have to pay for every little thing like that in movies because it's licensing. You can't do it. That's why in some, like, low-budget films, you'll have something like, it'll probably say Bide on it, or Wide, or instead of Drano, it's like Tano and stuff like that. Or, like, instead of Google, it's called Noodle, because they don't want to pay the royalty fees to be able to use the name. Okay, halfway into the film for The Thing 2, one of the best parts. Notice, again, she's just there. TV. She's just obsessed with the TV there. Just watching the TV. Lindsay's not going to answer that. She's just obsessed with the television at this point. And she's locked in there. Look at Michael in the background there. If you don't notice really quickly in that shot, you wouldn't notice that Michael's just peering through the glasses. It's so unsettling. It's like if it's a lion that's slowly stalking his prey at night at this point. Remember when Dr. Loomis is like, this isn't a man we're talking about. Like if he's referring to him as a beast. And it's kind of cool from a director's standpoint that we have Michael just like stalking her like if he's an actual animal, a beast. Oh, she actually picked up the telephone. You know why she picked up the telephone? Because she didn't want to get barred anymore and she just wanted to keep watching TV. Look, she was sighing there. That's Kylie Richards, by the way, in case you don't know. A very young Kylie Richards, who then later reprised this role in Halloween Kills, like I mentioned earlier on. We're not going to watch any of those movies because I actually don't care for the Halloween 2018 trilogy, especially Halloween Kills Again. Or not Kills Again, Halloween Ends. It was originally going to be called Halloween Kills Again, but they changed the movie to Halloween Ends. Uh-oh. She's stuck. And we got a gratuitous panty shot there, because why not? Fan service. I mean, back then, slasher films, you gotta, I guess, get fan service wherever possible. I mean, why would she try to crawl out the window? That goes to show you Annie as a character is not very smart. Promise me you won't tell. She's more concerned with the TV. Look at that. And again, who really strips down to do laundry while they're babysitting? Like that. Like, that's just, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, right? Oh, the phone's ringing. Jiffy Pop in a can? I mean, remember, I wasn't bored when this movie came out. So, like, Jiffy Pop in a can? Like, what? I've never seen that. Jiffy Pop, to me, is like in that metal thing. And most people use, like, microwave popcorn nowadays, right? Like, what is it? Pop Secret, was it called? Uh-oh. His parents are gone. Uh-oh. Is he's courting her for some gratuitous, you know, shenanigans? Walk over. Come and pick her up. Why can't he just walk over? Got a shirt on. Well, I mean, if you tell him. Uh-oh. Lots of things like what? Oh, wow. She really wants, you know, as the saying goes, the D, apparently. And she's way to blow off babysitting just for that. That's so messed up. Uh-oh. She just wants to watch TV. She's scared. Why are you watching it in the dark? That's a good reasoning. Pick up Paul. She don't want to. It stood at each other. So, how are you gonna get out of this? Like, Tommy Doyle. Does she like Tommy Doyle? Because she was like, yeah, I'd like to watch it with her. She's too young to have, like, a crush on a kid, right? Like, two kids having crushes? I guess she likes Tommy Doyle, apparently. Man, what a jerky friend, though, that. Now you think about Annie's character. Because she was bashing Laurie's character for being too studious and kind of a nerd. And then when Laurie's character told her about Ben Tramer, she went and told Ben Tramer that Laurie liked him. And kind of blew that. And kind of set them up. Now we have Michael just stalking Annie. How is Michael so, like, stealthy that he's able to hide behind these bushes and then pop out anywhere? There is actually a reasoning behind that. He does have supernatural powers, which is explained in Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. I'm not going to go into that until after the movie is over, and we'll talk about that. Because I don't want to give away too much about this movie by saying that for people who might have never seen this before. Oh yeah, that is kind of fancy. She didn't even wait for the clothes to, like, dry. She's just walking around in a dress shirt. It's a bold choice. Oh, look. Laurie... Yeah. She's just saying, fooling around, that it wasn't serious. You know, when you think about it, Ben Tramer got off very easily. He didn't have to get involved in any of the antics that happened in this movie. He dodged a bullet unintentionally. Uh-oh. Consider it. But you know she would have talked to Ben Tramer. She would have just kind of got those two together. Why is Annie such a goody? Not Annie, excuse me. Laurie is such a goody two-shoes that she's willing to babysit somebody else's responsibility just so that their friend could go have some snoo. Right? Like, I mean, you're trying to be a good friend, right? But you're being, like, used as a doorman at this point. Everybody else is hooking up, and you're just there watching everybody else's responsibilities. She's singing. Oh, Paul. Well, she's got a good voice. Where's the car keys? No keys, because you're not very, very wise, apparently. She's ad-libbing there, almost certainly. I don't know if that excuse me. I don't know if that song was actually originally in the script. It seems like she just kind of ad-libbed because it was something else to do in the movie. Uh-oh. What's gonna happen here, guys? So, it looks like we're looking for the point of view again of Michael Myers. And now it's the viewer that she went back in. I'm surprised Michael didn't try to get her here, which would have made the most sense. Right? Like, why wait for the car? Right? Like, he had the perfect chance to get her in here, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. How she done? It's in the car, right? Yeah. But he could have if he wanted to. I guess he figured it was better to just kind of camp out in the car. Notice she didn't use the keys to open the door, and she doesn't even realize because she's so fixated. Now she just realized, wait, the door was open, right? Nope. She just realized it's foggy. But she never noticed that it was actually open, the door. So, nobody pays attention in this movie. They would have survived. Oh, he's choking her. But first, real look at Michael Myers, actually, with the mask on there, too. It took a long time for him to actually get a kill in, right? 53 minutes into the movie before he actually claims his first victim. He just chokes her out. Look at that, though. That's a very creepy mask. Fun fact, the Michael Myers mask in this movie is actually a William Shatner Captain Kirk mask, which was just spray-painted white. That's what it is, really. That's all they did. They took a Captain Kirk mask, William Shatner's face, spray-painted it white. So whenever you look at Michael Myers, just think of William Shatner at this point. In the first movie or two. Then they kind of modified the design a little bit because kind of it was given away at that point. Look at this. They're still watching the movie. Is this still the Thing in Another World? AKA the Thing? Or Thing from Another World, I should say. Look at them. They're just enamored with the TV. Notice that they're sitting very far away from each other. That's to imply that Tommy Doyle isn't into girls just yet. And yet, ironically, these two become really best buds by the time Halloween Kills comes around. Although that's I don't even know if you would consider it continuity. Uh-oh. Maybe he does really like her, because look what he's doing. He's starting to kind of fool around to tease her, so... You know what they say, when a guy teases a girl, they really like them. Sometimes they'll say if a guy was meets a girl that they really like them, too. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Perhaps. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he saw. Look at that. Tommy just saw Michael carrying the dead body into the house. He's gonna freak out, right? Oh, man. Look at that. Why don't you just get on the phone and call the cops, right? It's a perfect opportunity to do that. Instead, he's just like, oh, they scared each other. Uh-oh, here we go. He's hysterical. He's hysterical at this point. Look at that. Laurie's not going to believe it, because remember earlier on he was saying the same thing and nobody's out there. There's no boogeyman. You know, Laurie could have just stopped his tantrum by just smacking him right in the face there. Snap out of it, you little bit. No, Laurie would never do that. She's the good babysitter. Oh, he's pouting. Nobody believes him. And then she's suddenly believing him. Even though she got a scare fixed up. Look at Laurie. She's like, it's 2 against 1 at this point. Yeah, Laurie just can't catch a break tonight. And her troubles are far from over at this point. Look at that. Spaceship landed. I suppose that's to kind of imply from a director's standpoint that Michael Myers has officially started and has landed in his killing spree. Loomis is just camping out the bushes here, hoping Michael would go back in. Oh, look at that. Bunch of kids walking up to the house. See, remember, this goes back to the whole thing that they were telling the tale. Like, kids tell that this house is haunted and spooky. So they're trying to dare this kid to go in the house tonight, which would be probably one of the worst times to do it. Uh-oh. Lonnie! Lonnie! That's Lonnie Walker, who, remember, there was a reference to him earlier on in the film? Lonnie was the kid that was tormenting Tommy Doyle and caused his pumpkin to drop. And ironically, then in Halloween Kills, they were all best buds then too, which is kind of an ironic choice. Uh-oh, there's the sheriff again. Oh, another fun Easter egg. If any of you ever watched the Halloween Rob Zombie remake, although I hate the Rob Zombie remake and its sequel, Brackett's character is actually played by Brad Dourif, who's actually the voice actor of Chucky. So there's a lot of Easter eggs I'm dropping today for Halloween. See, so the sheriff doesn't want to run around the bushes at this point anymore. And he's giving him another speech about it. Again, Donald Pleasance really in every scene of this movie completely steals the show. And remember, Donald Pleasance, maybe for people who don't really know, he was a British actor that starred in a lot of, like, well, not Broadway, but the Broadway equivalent of plays. He also was one of the villains in James Bond. I think he played Bloomfield, if I remember correctly. So he was a very established actor before he took on this role. But this is the one that people will remember him the most from. He also played a couple of John Carpenter horror films. Oh, it could be. Look at that. Just the way he delivers the line. Just in the chance. He wants to believe him. If you want, right? Damn you for letting him go. Very powerful scene there. Notice his face is becoming more concerned. Because he knows that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when on his face. Again, just showing the concern in his face. He's not saying I'm concerned. The golden rule of movies, show, don't tell. Look at the car. The car driving up. And then we see two teenagers. We saw a can of them drinking a beer. Oh, man. This guy's got aviator on. I mean, I don't know if those are prescription aviators or just regular aviators. But, man. Look at his haircut, too. He's got, like, the what do you call that? The bowl haircut. Oh, man. Man, these guys were into kinky stuff. They were willing to have, like, a free sub with Lindsay. Or not Lindsay, Annie, they even implied there. Man, these people are kinky. Kinky. Well, you know they broke the two golden rules in horror movies. You never drink alcohol in movies, and you never have premarital sex in horror movies. Because if you're about to partake in any of those, as well as smoking, pot or doing drugs, the killer is going to kill you. Almost 100% certain. It's that's still a golden rule that's followed in traditional horror movies, even still to this day. Annie. Where's Annie? So they went to Annie's place to have relations. Well, Annie's babysitting place. How are they going to all have an orgy there with a little kid around? Like, I mean, that kid was going to hear a lot of the stuff, would they not? Or were they going to get bribed? That would be crazy if they were doing something like that. Well, they're fornicating. You know what's going to happen to them. Notice the camera's slowly pulling away, as if to kind of imply something. Like, look! It is implying something. Over-the-shoulder shot of Michael Myers just there, stalking them, looking onward. Perhaps this is causing some PTSD in Michael Myers, reminding him of when his sister and her boyfriend were, having coitus. And maybe that triggers his urge to kill in this film. Because you notice, she was dressed in a shirt, Annie's character, and was almost halfway nude, and Michael kills her. And she was going to have, sexual relations with her boyfriend. Now Michael is stalking these two, most presumably about to kill these two, because they're in the heat of the moment about to have relations. So, two things here. Could it be that every time somebody's having relations, it just triggers Michael Myers' psychosis, and that's what's causing him to do these things in this film? Or could it be Michael Myers is a really deranged, spokesperson that took the message of the Catholic Church to a whole completely different level? It's like, no, they're having premarital sex. I gotta do something about that, and just takes it way too far. Who knows, right? Just saying. Food for thought. We don't really know, but I'm assuming it causes, every time he sees people in the act of making out and having sex, it probably triggers something with his sister that caused him to kill. So it just incites him, makes him more angry and enraged. Kind of like a beast. It's weird, of all things to be triggered by. Maybe Michael was just upset that he was, he was a little kid, right? But maybe he was just upset because he wasn't getting any attention of some sort, right? Maybe Michael just needed a young girlfriend at that point, and everything would have been different in that movie. Maybe we could have avoided all this, right? Or maybe they should just taken him trick-or-treat. We're assuming he didn't go trick-or-treat. We don't even know. You know, some movies imply he did, some movies imply he didn't. So, they're going up to definitely consummate their relationship. Now, had they stopped... Well, no, they already drank beer at that point, so they were going to get in trouble, because it's safe to say that they were underage drinking, too, so that's punishable in horror movies. Meanwhile, Laurie just looking on. If you like fan service, there's going to be some fan service here. Alright, again, camera pulling in slowly. We're walking into the shot. Could be Michael, even, from his point of view. Uh-oh, the phone is ringing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You know, I'll be honest with you, if that's how they, consummate the relationship, they're very stiff in bed, just saying. Just saying. That's not very boring, these two, you would say. Just saying. Hey, I have to give context to everything. It's not the most believable scene in the movie. It's a pretty not great love scene. Alright, they took the phone off the hook. Alright, they jump back on, but again, it's like... No, this is not believable. I'm sorry, it just doesn't do it. Like... That, maybe it's getting a little bit better. Maybe the director's like, yeah, we gotta kind of make it seem like these two are... But again, like... I can't really describe what I want to describe, but the dude looks like he's very static. Which isn't convincing that they're actually having relations right now. Like, incredibly static. Like, dude wasn't even moving. Just saying. Just saying, if you're gonna... You gotta kind of make it believable that the act is actually happening. Didn't really convey that to me, personally. You can tell me in the chat whether you think so or not, but obviously, keep it say-so. Try to keep it as well say-so, even though this movie not say-so. You want a beer here? Man, how did that dude have relations with aviator glasses on? Those glasses would have fell off. I'm sorry, that didn't make sense. Who do you know has relations with the glasses on? When they take it off, their glasses, those aren't even prescription, they're just fucking aviator shades. I'm sorry, Halloween, but I gotta call you out on that. Those glasses would have been falling down. Or falling off and hit her. Like... The fact that they didn't fall off actually says that he was a lame duck in bed, actually, now that I think about it. Because if his glasses didn't fall off, like, come on, bro. Alright. So they went to get beers, right? And we hope that they're not just stealing beers from the fridge, and those are the ones that they actually brought with them. Alright. Poor dude. All he went was to go get some beers, and he's going to be the next victim, almost certainly. Oh, notice the door just slowly opens ajar. Oh, at least this dude is smart enough to notice something might be a little bit off there. He's part of the noise. They're not coming for Michael Myers. Let's see. Annie, Paul. Is he going to close the door? Oh, he thought that there was a joke being played on him. Uh-oh. He really thinks it's his girlfriend. Oh, it's Michael. He's there for some slaying. Oh, no. Michael's gonna just choke him at this point. Man, this dude looks like super strong, just in general. So the fact that Michael's able to subdue him so easily, without... He's picking him up with one hand. That goes to show you how freaking strong Michael Myers is as a character, right? Look at that. Look at his face. That's actually really good acting. You can see, like, actual fear in his eyes. His depth facial expressions, not so much, even though he goes kind of cold and blank stare. Like, I feel like some of it, he did well, and then they're happy to... The fact that his toes just drag down like that, that's a nice thing. And Michael kind of, like, admiring his work. This would have been the first time Michael actually did this sort of kill, I suppose. He's literally admiring his work. You could see just his facial reactions there. He's, like, very proud of himself in a way. Well... Poor Linda. Oh, look at that, a ghost. Michael Myers, literally in a ghost sheet here with glasses. At least he was smart enough to know that he has to play a little bit of reconnaissance here. Michael's just stalking again. Bob was this guy's name. Paul was the other guy that Annie never went to pick up. So Paul actually got off easy when you think about it. Because he never had any of... He didn't get killed. A little bit more fan service. Uh-oh. Well, I don't think Mikey likes that. Mikey seems to get very triggered when you do stuff like that. Uh-oh. That's an interesting one. Michael's just staring there. Is he, like, going through PTSD? Is he enraged? Is he catatonic? Well, this is the first time Michael would have really seen at this point. Remember, he was in institutional this time. That he would have seen a adult, or somewhat adult naked woman, right? So it's like, he probably doesn't even know what he's probably should be doing right now at this point, right? So he's blank. Uh-oh, she's angry. She's gonna call Lori. Uh-oh. Going nowhere. She turned her back to the killer, too. Notice the music, the way it's picking up? Bump. Uh-oh. Bump. Uh-oh. That's not good. Mikey's gonna do something. Uh-oh. Got on the phone with Lori. Oh, no, but it's too late. She's being choked out. Oh, it's bad. This is very bad. Poor Annie. Uh-oh. And she thinks it's a joke because, remember, they've been playing jokes on her all Halloween day. Oh, she seems concerned now. Oh, she got choked out by the phone. Well, look. And that reveals, obviously, it was Michael. It's too late for her. Her death acting wasn't really that great when you think about it. It could have been better, right? But that was probably the first time she was ever acting in a movie. Uh-oh. The infamous scene that's actually kind of memed, where they have, like, gifs of that. Michael picking up the phone. He's listening. This seems to be Michael's primary target is Lori. So it's the beginning of the movie, he's been staking her out. There's a reason for it, but it won't be explained until the sequel, Halloween 2, which we are unfortunately not going to be watching. You can watch it on your own time, Dreadknights. I really just wanted to watch the original one, because I think the original one's really one of the best. 2 isn't bad, though. Keep that in mind. It's just, 1 is such a great film that nothing really compares to it. Laurie knows something's wrong. So she went to give them a call to see. Alright. She's running up the stairs. Notice this music is sinister. So she feels like something bad is about to happen, perhaps. Almost certainly at this point. Laurie going to check on them? Sleep tight, kids. Is she going to go check on her friends? I mean, that would be irresponsible of her as a babysitter to just leave, but, I mean, if she thinks something bad is happening, maybe she should. Right? Almost certainly at this point. Getting close to the climax of the film. Only 21 minutes left in the film. It goes by pretty quick. It's a really entertaining film. Good movies go by very quickly. Bad movies, you look at the clock constantly. Like Terrifier 2. I mean, some people love it, some people hate it. I'm kind of don't like it. Oh, he noticed the car. Finally, after so much time, he noticed the car. He notices. He used that car as a patsy. Just to be able to kind of, like, draw attention away. Alright. See, Michael actually was 2 steps ahead of the doctor for most of the movie. Yep, for official use, he finally noticed that that's the car from the asylum. Took him forever to notice it because he was just shifting his eyes around, so fixated on Michael coming back to the house, when in reality, Michael kind of set a trap there for him to think that he was just going to go back to the house so that he would be able to kill uninterrupted. Alright. Laurie in this outfit is actually in this outfit in Dead by Daylight. Believe it or not. Some people don't remember, but yeah. That's her default outfit in Dead by Daylight. The classic outfit for it. Alright. She's looking around for something. She's got knitting needles? Who looks around in their purse with knitting needles? Like, yeah, I'm just gonna knit. Is that something that was popular in the 70s? I just got a head shake confirmation that that was actually true. Believe it or not, Sister Dread is actually here listening to me. To this watch along. So she actually is here today. And she just confirmed to me that that apparently was something that was very popular. Alright, so we're getting back into the movie here. Laurie has decided that she's going to go check on her friends because she just feels like something's not right. Obviously, remember, Annie was supposed to come back to pick up, what's her name? Lindsay? Yeah, Lindsay. So, the fact that she didn't come to pick them up, like, you'd be like, well, what's going on? Are you guys just, like, having the craziest orgy of all time? Or is there something else going on? Like, did something bad happen? You know? And this is a small, quiet town. Notice throughout the whole movie, we never saw anybody trick-or-treating. Why is that the case? The movie actually implied this in the very beginning of the movie. Remember, most of this movie is like old married couples that have children. So if you notice in the beginning of the movie, all the children were going out to do trick-or-treating very early in the movie, during daytime. None of the kids go out because it's a suburb, and it looked like all the parents were going out late at night to the location. So that's why you don't see anybody on the streets. They're probably like a bar that they went to, because what else are you going to town? So that explains, for people who are always wondering why there's not people on the street trick-or-treating throughout this movie, they gave you the reasoning at the very beginning of the movie. Looking around. On top of that, this movie was filmed on a very low budget, so to have like a whole bunch of people that were extras walking around trick-or-treating would have cost way too much money. So it was easier to do that solution if you just had them trick-or-treating early in the day, and the parents going out night to somewhere, and it being a small town where probably there's only one place they're congregating, so why else would they go anywhere else? Yeah, as a parent, you're not going to walk around trick-or-treating at other people's houses. They wouldn't be there anyway, right? So it makes no sense. Alright. Now she notices something's wrong with Annie. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Wrong movie. Wrong movie. I'm sorry. Moonwalker is a movie we probably should watch at some point, as bad as it is. We have a lot of content to discuss there. Rest in peace, Michael Myers. Not Michael Myers. Michael Jackson. Even though Michael Myers will be kind of resting for a couple years, next movie isn't planned until 2028. We'll talk about that later, though. I did talk a little bit about it in Halloween Free Season of the Witch. Alright. She knows something's wrong because that door was open. She's walking around. Hey, the laundry was finally finished, though. I mean, since you're here, Laurie, you should be a good friend and take, like, the clothes out of the laundry, right? Just saying. No, she's just looking for Annie, can't find her. Annie is nowhere to be found. Notice the music stopped? Well, she tried to give her a jump scare, but no one. Why do we get a gratuitous butt shot of Jamie Lee Curtis? Man, Jamie Lee Curtis must have been hitting the gym back then, just saying. Huh. Well, Jamie Lee Curtis was always a very athletic person, from what I recall. Meathead. Interesting insult. Okay, Meathead. Maybe that's where they got the name Meathead from Meatballs 2, which will come later on. Yeah, I'm a well of useless information. Get used to it. I will sprout so many movies and connect them somehow together. She knows something's wrong. She's looking for Annie. Can't find Annie. At this point, if it were you, Dreadknights, the music is picking up. Notice how it's whimsical, almost mysterious, to imply Laurie as a character's confusion. She's very cautious at this point. The music's very unsettling. She's trying to find her friends. That's good sound design in movies will convey emotions of characters without actually the characters showing you, you know, or saying, I'm afraid, I'm confused. Because you don't want to do that in a movie. You want to show it through different ways, through facial reactions, through music, through body language. Their DMI light shooting from the opposite side. Even it could be shooting from the doors, just to simulate moonlight. Notice that incandescent light there? What would that have been? That would have been perhaps the bathroom. Because keep in mind, back then, people used bathroom lights, and they were incandescent lights. Yellow light is basically what I'm referring to for people who are not familiar with the term incandescent. Alright. She's about to walk through that door. Notice the music. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Puzzling again. She's gonna push this door. She pushes the door. This is the one problem I have with this particular scene. It's not a bathroom light, but it's yellow light. When in reality, if she was pushing the door, right, from our perspective, it's to show the jack-o'-lantern. Judith Myers, so he stole the tombstone and put it there. So this girl Annie reminded Michael of his sister, because look, he put the tombstone over her head. Judith Myers. Well, she's dead. You should run. Yellow light to show the jack-o'-lantern, the blue mixed in there with the DMIs to simulate the moonlight shining through the windows. That's what that means. Uh-oh. Look at the background. Woo! That's a nice shot where the guy just pops in there and reveals that he's dead. Poor dude. Look at that. Her friend, they're all dead. They were all killed. Laurie is terrified at this point. The danger, the music picking up. It's becoming unsettling. She's becoming unsettled in her mind. Scared, terrified. Jamie Lee Curtis crying. Look at her face, terrified. This is my most favorite shot in the whole entire movie for Halloween. Watch. Pay attention to the closet. You saw Michael just slowly creeping into the light to know that he's there stalking her. And it has such an amazing shot. Very well done. Uh-oh. Laurie falling down on the stairs. You heard the crack? That means she definitely broke something in her leg. Now the music of him stalking, notice Michael, more infuriated, more intense, walking down the stairs. Big chase is about to happen. Uh-oh, look at that. Menacing theme. Look at them. He's not stalking slowly. He's walking menacingly. He has a grudge against Laurie. But why? What could it possibly be, Dreadknights? She's limping, so she definitely broke something. The fact that she's walking that way would imply maybe she broke her ankle. Because if she had broken her knee, she would not be walking. But if she broke her ankle, you can kind of limp around, potentially, on it. And then again, her fight or flight response is being triggered right now. Look how strong Michael is. Remember, earlier in the movie, he was picking a guy up by the neck. So because we had that conveyed to us, him punching through a door like that should be no problem. Very subtle way they told us earlier on. Michael's strong enough to do this. Laurie broke through the window with her hand. That's kind of smart. Michael kind of booby-trapped her in, but not very good. Uh-oh, Michael giving chase. Laurie screaming for help. But as we already have established in this film, all the parents are away somewhere, and all the children are probably very asleep in bed by now. It's very late at night. Laurie screaming, please help me. She's falling over. She's going to the nearest door. The lights are on there, so maybe they'll help her. She's banging on the door for help. They turned on their light. She's asking for help. Please help me. Are they going to help her? No, they closed the shades. You know why? Because it's Halloween night, so they're thinking that the teenagers are trying to play tricks on everybody. That's why they aren't open there. You know? Which is unfortunate for her, because had they actually opened up for her, maybe they should have called for the police or something. Then probably Michael would have just killed them all there anyway. So Laurie's got to go back in. Uh-oh. Yeah, you left the key somewhere. Uh-oh, no, that's bad. And he's stalking you, Laurie. Oh, poor Laurie. What's gonna happen? She's got to hope that Tommy wakes up there. You know, one of the things she could have done, I noticed in the background, oh, there she goes. She could have thrown the plant. Or the other thing she could do is, these aren't gated windows, so she could have taken, there's like a garbage can there. She could have taken the garbage can and threw it through the window. Even though obviously Michael would have been able to get through the window too, I suppose. And you're trying to lock the door before he comes through, right? Michael's still stalking super quickly. Also, that Michael Myers stalk walk that they do there, that would be copied with Jason Voorhees later on in Friday the 13th Part 2 and onward. So Kane Hodder was best for the Jason stalk walk. Uh-oh. Tommy's like, is that the boogeyman? And she's like, shut up, just call the cops. Well, you can't call the cops. And he's upstairs, so, uh-oh. Not much you could do there. Notice she left the phone off the hook. Uh-oh. The window was left open. Oh, no. She knows he's in here. And she's got a busted ankle. Oh. Look at the netting, or not the netting, the knitting thing. Convenient plot device that she just happened to be knitting in this movie, and then she has it now. Michael tried to get her. What'd she do? She was ready for him. Stabbed him in the freaking throat there. Maybe she should have stabbed him in the eye, though. Oh, you just pulled it off? Oh, they collapsed. Well, that might be your opportunity to escape, Laurie. Notice the lighting here to simulate that the moonlight is coming through the top windows there. Very, very good effect. Also notice the shadow, because Michael likes to hide in the shadows so they don't have light near him, so he can hide in the shadows. Kind of like Batman in a way, but an evil Batman, right? Music, again, sounding perplexing, puzzling. She's slowly unraveling. She's, you know, at this point, she's traumatized, right? So if she's not careful, she picked up the knife and then threw it. That was her mistake, I personally think. She shouldn't have dropped the knife, because you had the weapon. Why let go of it there? And notice we have Dr. Loomis just walking around trying to figure out what house, potentially, Michael Myers could be in. Because he knows that he's around, because he saw the car. You know. Uh-oh. Look at that. It's the sheriff. Convenient plot device, but hey. He found the car. He's here. 3 blocks down. He's looking for the house. Yeah. They should have probably stayed together, because they probably would have been able to do a little bit more. I guess, you know, it's one guy, right? How many houses could he possibly go to? And again, why didn't they call for more men at this point, right? Well, because it would cost money for the extras, but still. it's an interesting thing. Even a small town, so how many men could he possibly have had? He would probably had to call for the National Guards, which ironically is a plot point in Halloween 4, where the police department's too small and they have to call for the National Guards for help. So at some point in the franchise, they actually thought about that. She went for Paul and Lindsay. How does Lindsay have pajamas? That's what I want to know. She didn't have like a carry-on bag with her. Did Tommy lend her those pajamas? Nothing to be scared of. Are you sure? Look at the shadow walking behind. Can't kill evil. You can't kill the boogeyman. Yep, he's right there. Uh-oh. Kids are screaming. She's gonna have to do something. Look at Michael. Michael running. Oh, Glory, what are you gonna do? There's not many places you can go. And Mikey is still stalking you. She's gonna have to go into that closet. That's a closet that mostly streamers would probably be using to record in. Mikey. Mikey's just not liking it. Oh man, she's trying to lock herself in here. What's she gonna do in a closet, right? There's not much in there that she could really defend herself with. She's paralyzed in fear. I mean, Michael's gotta know that she's in there, right, guys? Music is picking up to basically imply the tension is escalating. The conflict itself is escalating. Oh, Michael. I mean, if Michael wanted to, he probably could rip that with his bare hands because he's, you know, punched through iron things, right? Like, at this point, a closet door would be no problem for him, you would think. She's paralyzed in fear again. She's got to figure something out. Like, that wasn't the best hiding spot. I mean, she didn't have too many places she could run, but, like, notice her facial reactions. She's paralyzed in fear, terrified. Well, he broke the door. Yep, see? I was like, yeah, if he could break through anything else, why not, right? Like, turn on the light. How nice of Michael to just, like, turn the light on accidentally there. It was an interesting director choice there, just so we could actually see what's going on in the shot. She grabs a curtain. A wire hanger. Oh, no. Well, what's she doing with the wire hanger? Was she smart? What's she doing with it? Is she making it like a blunt object of some sort? Well, she stabbed him. I think she stabbed him in the eye, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Well, this just proves what Mommy Dearest said. No more wire hangers for this reason. These things are dangerous. And she stabbed him with the knife. That was actually smart. You go, girl. This Laurie was like one of the very first Survivor girls, actually, before any other Survivor girls actually happened. Because, who else was there? There was the Survivor girl in, Psycho, but she went with the cop. This is like the first truly Survivor girl where she's on her own having to deal with the big threat. Well, Michael seems incapacitated here. But you know what's the biggest problem in these type of movies? And it's a rule from Zombieland. You gotta double tap. Just because the killer's down, just because the threat is down, doesn't mean it's actually dead. You know? It's like the saying goes, evil never dies, right? So had she been smart, she should, and she dropped the butcher knife again, which I think was her cardinal sin. She should have picked the knife up and just, like, tried to slam it down on his head. But I guess then, you know, it wouldn't be that great of a movie, because you'd be like, wait, that's it? Right? So I guess it can't happen that way. I mean, the most deflating of all the Halloween endings would have to definitely be Halloween H2O. Because the way it happens is like, wait, that's it. But we're not watching that movie either on the channel. You can watch it on your own time. It's not a bad sequel. I mean, it's still better than some of the other crap that's been subjected to, but, you know. That was originally supposed to be the last Halloween film, and then they reconned the Resurrection, which I was never very happy about, because Resurrection's not a great film at all. Uh-oh. There we go. The two-shot again, where it's a reverse over the shoulder. Look at Michael, though. Michael just sitting up like The Undertaker. Fun fact, I believe The Undertaker from WWE/WWF got his raising up from the dead thing from Michael Myers, even though it was done also in Dracula, but nothing is done better in that way. So I think Undertaker kind of pulled that from Michael Myers' hat. Even though obviously John Carpenter would have pulled that from Dracula in a way, but Dracula never did it that way. Look at that. That's some really good acting by the guy playing Michael Myers, where you're just slowly coming back to life and moving, slow stalking. Laurie has no idea what's going on. The music is escalating again to tell you that the tension, conflict is rising yet again, almost reaching its climax there. Laurie, at this point, is traumatized, and Michael just going for the grab, choking her. Oh no. And we know that Loomis is soon in this place. There's Dr. Loomis running up the stairs. Laurie pulling off something. Laurie pulled off the mask. We got a shot of Michael Myers' face there for a couple seconds. Uh-oh. Look at that, Michael trying to put the mask back on. And that was enough to get Dr. Loomis to shoot Michael in the face. Uh-oh. Michael got shot. He's still standing there like nothing, bro. It's 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots, 5 shots, 6 shots. He fired 6 shots at him. Michael goes falling down. It looks like the evil has been defeated here. The conflict is over. Dr. Loomis just got there at the nick of time. Laurie, look at her face. Terrified. Paralyzed in fear. Looking up at Dr. Loomis. What is she saying? What is she going to say? Can she even talk? Was that the boogeyman? Because remember, Tommy Doyle was like the boogeyman coming to get us? What does Dr. Loomis say? As a matter of fact, it was. And that is the very last line in this movie. Which is the crazy part. So Dr. Loomis walking over to see Michael Myers. He's looking on. Michael Myers is gone. After 6 shots, he's not dead. The music picking up, the theme of the movie. This is far from over. Might be just the very beginning of the nightmare. Laurie is starting to cry because she knows he got away. They didn't win. They didn't lose, but they didn't win. And Michael escapes to terrorize yet again. And Dr. Loomis is just puzzled, like, where could he possibly have gone? And the music is picking up. We hear Michael Myers' heavy breathing, implying that he's not dead, and that he might stalk yet again on another Halloween night. So the movie's phenomenal, man. Just, like, some of the acting is not great in it, but the story itself is perfect. Remember, evil never dies. Remember, Dr. Loomis even said that Michael wasn't a man anymore. He was pure evil. And that rolls the credits to Halloween, 1978. The best Halloween film. Personally, in my opinion, probably the only one that should really exist. Donald Pleasant really makes a movie with his performance. Jamie Lee Curtis does an amazing job. The rest of the characters are all pretty forgettable in terms of their acting. Let's see, who played Michael? Michael, age 23, he was. Tony Moran does a really good job of Michael in the role, but he didn't play Shape. So Nick Castle is the Shape, which is basically Michael Myers in the costume. Nick Castle does a very phenomenal job. He does a great job of making Michael menacing without ever saying any sort of word. The way he stalks, the way he walks, the way he power walks when he was like just attacking Laurie even, just simply phenomenal. Music makes this movie really good. If John Carpenter didn't do the score that we're listening to right now in the end credits, and you put something else in, it might have not really worked for the movie. The music really helps set the tension throughout it. And it's a very good story. It flows very well. It doesn't overstay its welcome like some horror films. So, like, you know, it gets to the point Michael escapes. Michael stalks his characters. He kind of does recon as to how would be the easiest way to kill them. And then goes about doing his job. And we have Dr. Loomis going in to chase him. And, you know, there's the cat and mouse game of them. Blue Oyster Cult. Don't Fear the Reaper. Interesting. I didn't know that they were the ones who sung that song, so it's kind of cool. Blue Oyster Cult also made a song, Godzilla. So, that's good to know. Yeah, and then the movie picks up, you know, where Dr. Loomis goes and chases, and it's a game of cat and mouse. Michael starts to proceed to do his kills. Laurie, every so often, feels like something is off, but she just feels like it's Halloween night. And then we get to the climax and the final confrontation. It goes by fast, but it just works because it's so simple, but perfect in the narrative and the way that it's carried about. There's no post-credit sequence here because it's Halloween. Halloween 1 doesn't have post-credit sequence. There is obviously multiple sequels to Halloween. If you're curious what happens with Michael at that same night, I would definitely recommend watching Halloween 2. Halloween 2 literally picks right back up where this movie left off, and Michael continues his reign of terror by following Laurie Strode's character to the hospital, and then completely, like, goes on another killing spree, and then eventually there's a confrontation there that I won't spoil for all the Dreadknights, because I know some of you won't see that one, but hey, I would recommend watching it, maybe even after this film. It's available on various different streaming services. I am not going to watch another movie, though, because that's all the time, unfortunately, I have for today. You know, it's a very good film. I was going to talk a little bit about why Michael Myers doesn't die before we wrap up. In Halloween 6, they introduced the fact that Michael Myers had a curse placed on him by not Dr. Loomis's character, but the guy that Dr. Loomis was talking to in the beginning of the film by the name of Wynn. who actually was doing cult stuff. So, with Michael Myers' character, the guy Wynn, who's the one that was talking to Dr. Loomis, in Part 6, even though it's technically not canon, depending how you look at it at this point, gave him the Curse of Ford while he was in the institution, which allows him not to be able to die. It's like a Celtic curse of some point. Then, on top of that, that would explain also in Halloween 6 why Michael Myers was able to escape the institution, because it was actually all Wynn's doing. People hate Halloween 6, but Halloween 6, as bad of a film it is, actually ties in some loose plot points if we really think about it heavily. So, you know, there's that. But Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers, if you want to watch it, to kind of fill in some of the gaps, it's also good. But it explains Wynn actually himself was the one that let him out, and then he played stupid to play around and toy with Dr. Loomis and carry out all these crazy things. And just to honor the tradition of Samhain, which is the Celtic tradition of Halloween that we then obviously changed it to Halloween and modified it. Crazy, right? Crazy, crazy. But Halloween Curse of Michael Myers is an interesting film. Not a good film, but it's interesting because it fills in some of the loose plot points. Worst one, Halloween 5, and also Halloween Resurrection. I don't care for the Halloween new trilogy, too, because they obviously scrubbed Part 2 through Resurrection in favor of creating its own story, and it doesn't start out bad. Halloween 2018 is not so bad, but it's not so great. Halloween Kills is entertaining when you get to the fast-moving parts of it, but then it can drag on. But Halloween Ends is just god-fucking-awful. Like, anything that gets me to say god-fucking-awful and curse like that, you know it's truly bad. It kind of screws the pooch, because it's just like, if it wasn't a Halloween movie, maybe it would have done okay. If it was like Halloween Kills instead, and then Halloween's Kills was Halloween Ends, probably I'd be better received for it. But yeah, I digress. It's not my favorite trilogy. And in fact, it's not even Universal Pictures trilogy, because this is my segue before we leave. The 50th anniversary, if I remember correctly, of Halloween is on 2028. So they've already announced that the plan is they're going to be doing a remake Halloween film. Or not a remake, technically, but it's going to be another sequel. That's going to just do Halloween 1, and then it's going to spin off into the events after Halloween 1. I don't know. I doubt Jamie Lee Curtis is going to come back again at this point. It wouldn't make a whole bunch of sense to have that happen. But maybe it's going to tell some new characters, and Mike will come back, maybe, you know, obviously on the same night, and maybe terrorize somebody else. But that's in 2028. They're also planning a Halloween TV series. But if it's going to be anything like the Friday the 13th one that tried to happen, I think they're just going to scrap it and focus all their attention on the movie, which is probably the most sense. Because, you know, if you're going to have 50 years of Halloween at this point, you got to have a good one, a really big one. I would even be shocked if they bring back Jamie Lee Curtis, because I have a feeling she can't say no to these movies at this point. Just because, like, she enjoys playing the character. And I think maybe her herself knows that, like, Halloween Ends wasn't very well received, that she might want to try to give it one more try. But I would prefer, actually, if they do this next sequel, it doesn't have anything to do with Laurie. We create new characters for the future. Because I feel like that's where the franchise kind of has missed its mark. They tried to do that in Resurrection, but Resurrection itself isn't a good movie. But it would have been kind of interesting to see the character in that one kind of continue her storyline. Because, like, it's just like, we haven't had a heroine, really, outside of Laurie. We had Jamie, and they reconned her out. And, you know, it's interesting. Interesting, right? But that's enough rambling there. Anyway, guys, did you enjoy the movie? If someone said no, that you did not like Halloween, get out of my chat right now. I'm just kidding. But no, I doubt. I don't think there's anybody who dislikes Halloween 1978. You tell me the other ones, yeah. But it's just a movie that's universally loved by horror fans, and even people who aren't horror fans. It's very suspenseful, right? It's not really truly super slasher, more like a thriller, right? Which I think is the very cool thing about this film. But with that being said, guys, thank you for hanging out with me this Halloween night. Thank you for trick-or-treating with me, I suppose. We got a treat instead of a trick. I don't have a trick really to play on you. I'm just not that type of guy. But with that being said, thank you to everybody that came out. I do greatly appreciate it. Most importantly, I appreciate you. Tomorrow will not be a movie watch-along, but it will be 8 p.m. Eastern. We will be watching, or not watching, we'll be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, because it's November. And unfortunately, this is the very end of our spooktacular Halloween coverage, so we'll be jumping back into Master Duel, doing some of the cup competition that's out, and then Saturday morning, we're probably going to play more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I'll jump into Master Rank, because I'm trying to make the 10 Pi OTK deck, and I have to grind a lot. in rank, and as well as do like dailies to be able to hopefully pull enough in-game currency to try to make that deck eventually. It's a very expensive deck to say at least. Anyway, guys, happy Halloween. Thanks. I do greatly appreciate it. Most importantly, I appreciate you.